Hey everybody, welcome to this week's 90-second cyber story. Why are we doing this? We're doing this because we want to protect, prevent, and prevail. We want to protect companies from being infiltrated, from the wild, wild west of cyber crime that's out there. We want to prevent future outages. We want to prevent you from losing clients, from impacting your staff and impacting your bottom line. And lastly, we want you to prevail. We want you to prevail in a world where these types of threats exist. And why 90 seconds? 90 seconds is because we're all busy and I want to cram as much practical information, practical steps to protect you and your business. So without another word, let's get rolling. All right, let's start with our 90-second story. This week, we are going to talk about an international trucking company that contacted us when they couldn't get access to their data. Staff in the office were going to their map drive, as most of us usually do, to get access to network and company data. And they were finding that when they double-clicked on the file or tried to open up a file, it would turn up as either gibberish or it wouldn't open at all, prompting for a program to open it with. They contacted us. We looked into it and we found that they were infected by ransomware. What they were doing is this company was providing remote access to their traveling sales staff. They were open up their laptop, they would run a program called Remote Desktop Protocol, and they would log in. And the problem with this is it wasn't secured properly, and a hacker figured out, and they figured out that this was open up to the internet. They used something called a blunt force attack, and which systematically guesses or predicts passwords. Once they got in, they were able to run a ransomware program. They could have done many, many things, including stealing data. In this particular case, they ran a ransomware program. We were able to help them and recover them because they had great backups. See last week's rant episode, all about ransomware and why it shouldn't be as big of a deal as it is and how to recover from it. I won't regress, but that is essentially what happened. We stepped in. Luckily, they did have good backups, and we were able to get them up and running in a couple of hours. So it was a happy ending, other than their business was disrupted, and it could have been so much worse. So that's the end of our story. Now I'm going to get into what you need to do, the practical steps to securing your network. So first off, if you are accessing your office through a program that looks like this, similarly enough this, from an icon that looks something like this, you are using Remote Desktop Protocol or Remote Desktop Services. Those are not the only apps that can be used. A different looking app can be used on a Mac, even mobile devices, and Linux. So if you are remotely accessing your data, talk to your IT department, talk to your IT service provider, make sure that they're securing it. There are ways to use those programs that are more secure using what's called a VPN or virtual private network. The biggest thing is that those exposures do lead to what I talked about: exposure to losing your data and exposure to getting infected. The problem is that they're just too easy to hack, they are too easy to find, and they need to be secured properly. It's a nice short story this week and short practical steps. There are so many other options out there too to provide remote access through different applications. I mentioned VPN, but there are many vendors and a few software vendors that do provide better, more secure access. So that's my tip for this week. Hope you guys are having a great week and have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.